Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Gabe with Indigo Software, genuine Microsoft software for less. In this video, we're going to show you guys how to install server roles and features with PowerShell in Windows Server 2025. Before we get started with this video, if you're interested in purchasing Windows Server, remote desktop licenses, Windows 10, Windows 11, Microsoft Office, or a wide variety of other Microsoft software at a great price, be sure to check out Indigo Software. We'll have those links down below. So without further ado, let's jump in. All right, guys, so we're just logging into our server now. This is my Windows Server 2025 domain controller that I use for most of the demonstrations on this channel. So we've got the Server Manager here. Server Manager is where we typically access our roles and feature wizard. But again, the point of this video is to explore what we can do with PowerShell. I'm going to close this down. I'll hit the Windows key, or we could hit the search, and let's simply just type in PowerShell. We'll see Windows PowerShell come up, and we can click to open. All right, so I went ahead and increased the font size and made this larger so you guys can see that a little bit easier. The first step in our roles and features tutorial today is going to be to list all the roles and features. So to do this, we're going to copy some code and we'll leave this all in the description for you guys. So the first set of code that we're going to enter here, it's basically going to list all the available roles and features on the server. This is going to show us what's already installed and what's still available to add. And so this is going to help us understand the current state before we make additional changes. So I'll copy the code in and I'll just go ahead and paste that. So we're going to start with the line import dash module space server manager. We'll hit enter. Let's type here Get-WindowsFeature. So scrolling up here, we've got our features listed. We can see whether it's available, removed, or installed. So those are the three different descriptors that will fall under that column on the right. And then there's one more command we're going to run here for step one. This one I'll just directly paste, and that is Get-WindowsFeature, where object install state, EQ, installed. Again, we'll have this pasted in the description if you don't want to manually write this out. And so with that in there, let's go ahead and press enter again. And now we've got another return here. So the where object install state, this filtered our list based on the parameter that we set here, which is installed. And so now this is only returning the features or roles that are already installed. So this is a helpful way to further narrow that list. And then we've got the format table display name. This is telling PowerShell to display the two columns here, which we have display name and name of the service. All right, now there are actually a few preliminary steps you may want to do that I didn't cover in the beginning. Let's go over those now. First, let's confirm what version of PowerShell we're running. We're going to enter the following command. Here we can see that we have major 5. So 5.1, which is major 5 minor 1. This is the correct version of PowerShell for roles and features, not PowerShell 7. Okay. The next command is a simple who am I. This is going to confirm that we're administrator or domain account, which we are. And finally, we can actually go ahead and start a transcript. And then this is going to save all the commands and outputs into a log file for later review. So this is great for documentation if you're doing some kind of company administration or whatever the case may be. That also gave us the location of where to find said transcript. All right, let's move on to step 2. For this, we're going to show you guys how to install a single role with tools. All right, and so to do this, we're going to start with install. We'll type in -WindowsFeature space. For the example, we'll go ahead and do the DNS server role. So I'll type DNS. I'm also going to list to include management tools. So DNS is the short name for the role that's being installed here. Include management tools ensures that snap-ins and consoles are installed so that we can manage the role. Install-WindowsFeature is the main command to install a role or feature. So with that, let's go ahead and run that. You can see it loading. Then it's telling us that we have success. A restart is not needed. And then we've got the exit and code, no change needed, and we're good to go. Now we're going to move on to a bit of a longer command here. So for this one, let me go ahead and paste it in. Okay, so let's go ahead and break this command down a little bit. So again, we started with our base Install-WindowsFeature. After that, we did web server, web common, HTTP, and so on. And so these are the internal names of the IIS components. Notice here that we specified include all sub feature, and include management tools once again. This is going to install every sub-feature related to the chosen roles. And then we have include management tools listed once again. This installs the GUI and console tools for managing IIS. Let's go ahead and run this. We can see it's collecting data and there's a little loading bar that pops up once we start this. So we'll let this finish loading before we move on. Now, if you were actually installing web server, you likely would not be getting this error message returned. Just for a quick explanation, this means that the proxy server or target name cannot be resolved. So Windows is trying to download files from the internet to activate the feature, but it can't. So again, the purpose here is demonstration. We're just showing you guys some example commands here. And so you wouldn't anticipate an error message like this. Getting around this would involve temporarily disabling firewall or antivirus or something along those lines, but that's not what we're covering in this video. So let's go ahead and move on. So we also have the ability to remove a role or feature. I'm going to go back to my list from earlier and actually reference that. And let's go ahead and pick a service or a feature that we want to remove. Given that I don't actually want to install any of these features that I do have installed, I'm going to demonstrate this with the feature we were attempting to install. Again, we'll just kind of show you the functionality here. So if we type uninstall, followed by, actually we're going to hyphenate that to Windows feature. We'll type web -server. So let me enter that. Okay, it's collecting data. I'm going to enter the line again. And do note that it's warning us to restart the server to finish the removal process. So I'll enter this again, uninstall -Windows feature. Web server. This time we're going to enter -remove. And I'll enter that. It says it's starting removal. All right, let's move on to the next thing we wanted to show you guys. And this is going to be to install .NET Framework 3.5 from Media. So some of these features aren't included on server by default. To install them, I would need to mount the Windows installation ISO and point the sources folder inside of it. Feel free to copy and paste this one from the description as well. So breaking down this a little bit, again, we have our install Windows feature. We have Net Framework Core, and then we're providing the source, which is in our D drive, /sources, and then SSX, /sources, then into this folder. We've also specified limit access. So this is telling PowerShell where to find the feature files on the mounted ISO. Limit access prevents Windows from trying to download files from Windows Update. Let's enter that. Okay, the limit access was not accepted from PowerShell. I'm going to try to run the same command without it. All right, and that is starting the installation. Now we're getting the same error that we got earlier, so we'll just disregard that for now. All right, guys, last thing we want to show you is to verify that everything in our administration attempts has worked. We're able to export a list of installed roles into a CSV file, check if the system is waiting for a reboot, and also stop the transcript log. And if something fails, which again, we did have some failures earlier, we can always check the logs under DISM or CBS. All right, we're going to start by rerunning that same command that we had earlier. We're also specifying the table orientation or the table display, which is name and display name. And then the export CSV command, we're just following that with a simple directory. Basically, I created a temp folder inside of my C drive. And so we would just copy this or type in C:\temp. And then after that, you list the name of the CSV that you want. All right, let's go ahead and run that. And now if we go back to our temp folder, we can see that CSV file right here. Now we've got a few other commands that we're going to run. Let's start with the test path. This is going to show us if a restart is required before continuing. It returned as true, and so that's telling us that a restart is required. And then the final thing I'm going to do is stop the transcript. Oh, and actually, because I made a new PowerShell window, the transcript wasn't running, but assuming that you stayed in the same window, your transcript would have recorded everything, and this command here would stop it. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. If you have any questions about anything we covered, feel free to drop those in the comments below, and we'll get back with you as soon as we can. Again, if you're interested in purchasing genuine Microsoft software at a great price, be sure to check out Indigo software. We'll have all those links in the description as well. As our channel continues to grow, we're constantly looking for new video topic ideas. If you have any ideas of your own, we'd love to know what those are. Most viewer commented video requests get made into actual videos on our channel. Lastly, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated as it helps to support our channel. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys next time.